One of the directions we went in terms of Outland was kind of a very different from the original game. We wanted to appear like you actually were on a different planet. A lot of things ended up going a little bit of a sci-fi direction, which I think worked great for Outland. Really gave people the sense that this is not their place that they were at before. It's definitely a new place. With Northrend, it is part of Azeroth, and so there's a desire to kind of bring that back and have it return to a little bit more traditional high fantasy. The lessons we learned from Burning Crusade is we've got Illidan as this giant evildoer and this giant bad guy that people are supposed to be motivated to work against, but the average player doesn't actually get a chance to see or really interact with Illidan. So one of the changes that we're making in this expansion is players right out of the gate are going to get to interact with Arthas, see the kind of things that he's doing. You're going to have players who are actually working against Arthas all the way up to the high-level players. So, you know, each zone will have its own kind of mini-story. Some zones will play right into the plot of Wrath of the Lich King and the Lich King himself. Others will be off stories or off kind of that main plot line, interacting with other factions. One of the neat things about Northrend and Wrath of the Lich King in particular is that we've decided to go with 2 starting locations for both Horde and Alliance. So the Horde and Alliance will both have entry points into either Howling Fjord or Borean Tundra. These are pretty much equivalent starting areas, and the reason we did that was on one hand to spread players out, but also to give players who have multiple level 70s the option of having a different starting experience when they come to Northrend. A couple of big goals for Wrath of the Lich King. One is we wanted to go ahead and add the first new character class since the game launched. This has ended up being a huge undertaking because classes take a really long time and take a lot of balancing in order to kind of weave into the existing class structure. One of the goals with the Death Knight was epic but equal. So epic in how you obtain it, epic in how it feels, but not any more powerful than any other classes. We wanted to add a whole bunch of new quests, new dungeons, new zones, new items for players to experience. So for the casual players, we've got new quest types, we've got a new vehicle system, new destructible building content that really plays into new types of quests. We've got types of quests where you actually get to fly an airplane and actually shoot other planes down. We've got helicopter missions where you actually need to retrieve some stranded civilians, also deliver goods. We've got other quests where you actually have 2 people on a mount an escape type quest where you escape from one area or another. And so that's kind of to always look for new types of questing things for players to do. With Karazhan, which was one of the most popular instances that we've ever developed. It was a 10-person instance, and it really let us know that there was a high demand for 10-person content. On the flip side, 25-person content or large groups of people playing raiding together has always been a big part of Warcraft. So we want to continue to support that type of content. Another lesson from Burning Crusade is that the 25-person guilds don't want to have to do 10-person content in order to get to the 25-person content. So the change that we're making is every raid will have both a 10-person version as well as a 25-person version, and that's to give both types of players equal access to both types of content. Blizzard's philosophy is we're going to make one giant expansion, and we're going to support it with large free content updates. You know, people have said, why don't you make expansions more often? Blizzard, we want more expansions to buy. You know, one of the things that's really important to us is that we have these large content updates, and so you know, some of our content updates are actually as large or larger than other companies' expansions. So that's kind of the philosophy that we've had going forward, and what we're going to at least try to do for the foreseeable future. And yeah, it may change at some point in the future, but for right now, that's what we're looking into. You know, if you played WoW before and you enjoyed it, I promise that this next expansion is going to be even better than the last one. If you liked WoW, you're going to love Wrath of the Lich King. That's basically what it comes down to.